welcome to A Seat at the Table with Bishop John Dolan of the Roman Catholic Diocese of Phoenix. I'm your host, Joyce Coronel. We have an exciting show for you today, and I think you're really going to love hearing from our amazing guests. With us in our studio today, we have Father Son Hoang. He's the pastor of Vietnamese Martyrs Parish, and we have Jola Strojek. She is the parish council head at Our Lady of Czestochowa Parish in Phoenix. And of course, Bishop John Dolan, welcome to all of you.
Wonderful.
We're so glad you're here.
Absolutely.
So Father Hoang, we'll start with you. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your community and some of your traditions? I mean, first of all, are all the masses in Vietnamese?
Yes, we have all the masses in Vietnamese, but in the first week of the month, we do have bilingual for the children, because we have a lot of children at our parish. So we're trying to do the bilingual mass for them.
Yeah, I understand you have about 1,100 parishioners, or 1,100 registered places.
That's right, yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your traditions. I know when I've been to your parish, I'm amazed because the architecture,
Right.
you feel like you're in Vietnam.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about your community, just give us a flavor.
Yes, that's very much the purpose why we built the church like that, so that people kind of feel welcome, feel like at home. And of course, our parish is named after the 117 Vietnamese martyrs. And I brought with me the relics, original relics from 5 of the saints, 5 Dominican Vietnamese martyrs. And we, for us, we very much focus on community and families. And so we teach also Vietnamese program for the children, so for them to understand at least their heritage, their culture, and we are so blessed to have so many volunteers, to help us to run the parish.
That's wonderful, and I understand you mentioned a school for the children to learn. I take it takes place on Saturdays or Sundays, that kind of thing. So the children are learning Vietnamese. And I think at your parish as well, Jola, tell us a little bit about your parish. I know you mentioned something about a school for the children on Saturdays.
Yes, our parish has like 350 families right now who is the part of our parish. Not all of them participate every Sunday at our church because they are all over the valley, so they can't go to local churches. And yes, we have the Polish school, Saturday Polish school, named after Saint John Paul II, and this year we're going to, in October, celebrate 25 years of that school since was open. And that school really teach their children Polish language, and as well they have 1 hour of religion through that time. They teach them geography, history, and by the readings, writings in Polish, and that also goes through the poems, books, everything, and the prayers. They also teach them in Polish language, and that's the thing how we try to connect with our roots, to the families, to grandparents, that they can talk to them, and it's a future for our parish.
That's amazing. And Bishop Dolan, I mean, this is just amazing. How wonderful is it that we have these kinds of communities in our diocese?
Absolutely. We have, many people don't know this, but in the church, we have particular parishes, or they're parishes with boundaries. And then we have national parishes, and those national parishes focus on a particular culture. Vietnamese Martyrs is a national parish. It has no boundaries.
Yes.
And the same thing, and this is what triggered it, Our Lady of Czestochowa is a national parish. And it has no boundaries because not everyone within a particular boundary would be Polish. So in essence, the idea is that it's open to all who are Polish, but it's open to all for that matter as well. And the same thing with the Vietnamese martyrs. And I've been to the 2 of your parish communities, and I can say and attest that they are absolutely vibrant when it comes to liturgy. Sometimes within our own culture, probably the American, Euro-American culture, we kind of have discussions about, active participation in the liturgy, or all of those different things. But I'll tell you what, in both of these parishes, they are actively participating. It's absolutely beautiful. And if you've never had an opportunity to attend a mass at these parishes, you'd be amazed. I mean, it's just beautiful, just beautiful.
It really is, and it's a real tribute to our diocese in that it's growing, expanding. I grew up in this diocese, and we didn't have all these different ethnic communities organized into national parishes, and so it's really beautiful to see the fruitfulness. And particularly when we think of the martyrs, you know, the Tertullians saying that the blood of the martyrs is the seed of the faith. Tell us a little bit about these Vietnamese martyrs and what that means, because you had said something about maybe there's a shrine coming. Talk to us about that.
Yes, I think the bishop mentioned the fellowship hall, and we're trying to organize some sort of a pilgrimage, you know, for the Vietnamese people, maybe across America, because it's we don't have that yet. So with the fellowship we're trying to invite people into our parish.
Is this the only parish in the United States named Vietnamese Martyr?
No, we have many.
We do.
Yeah, we do have many.
I see.
We have in Houston.
Yeah.
We have in Virginia.
Okay.
And even in Richmond, Virginia, we have a few.
I see.
Yeah, but they also have the Marian days, for example.
Yes.
But never Vietnamese.
Related
Martyrs.
Vang.
Yeah, Vang and stuff.
But it would be nice to have
Yes.
some kind of an
more focus on the
more
Vietnamese,
focus
on Vietnamese martyrs.
That's great.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it's a beautiful heritage, and I think, you know, for us to remember, because sometimes, you know, the generations go by and who really knew these people, but we have a big chunk of
yes.
their bones right here in
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
It's just
So yeah. So right now we have over here we have 4 relics of the 2 Spanish bishops, 1 Spanish priest, and 1 Vietnamese one Vietnamese brother. So they happen to be persecuted in one place, and they call it Hai Dương. So they are in one group, because the persecution happened throughout from 15th century until the 19th century. So through very period of time. And over here we have Saint Vincent Liêm. He's the first Vietnamese Dominican martyr. He happened to be persecuted before this group. So we are very fortunate to have it. The Vietnamese Dominican in Vietnam, they send these things to us with the purpose. Hopefully, we're gonna accomplish whatever goal that we're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
The fellowship hall, and with this.
Oh, love that.
Yeah,
That's
yep.
wonderful. And you mentioned that there are each of these martyrs, are they Dominican?
Yes, they were Dominicans.
So they were from Spain?
Yeah, they're from Spain. Yeah,
From the Spanish.
from the Spain. That's right. Yeah.
Ah.
So out of 117 martyrs,
Uh-huh.
and I think out of that group we have 38 Dominicans.
I see. Got it.
In that group alone, 117, we have 38 Dominicans, all related. We have some laity Dominicans being persecuted.
So that's really something.
Yeah.
Well, now, Jola, and you also have brought something too for our show and tell. It's an icon of Our Lady of Czestochowa. You know,
Yes.
a lot of people, they've heard that term, but they don't know who she is or what. Tell us a little bit about that. Your parish's name for her.
Yes, Our Lady of Czestochowa. Yes, she is a patron of our parish. She is also called Black Madonna. She was brought to Poland at the 14th century by Prince Władysław Opolczyk, and traveling through his land, he left that icon in the Jasna Góra, Czestochowa, with Fathers Paulins, and since then they are taking care of her. And as you can see on her right cheek, she has 2 scars, which you can always see there. And those scars, she got it when in the 14th century as well there was robbery, and they leaving behind the icon. That was the problem, that they just scar her with the sword. And they took the treasures. However, the icon stayed with in the Jasna Góra. However, the problem was that they tried to renovate that icon very often, for several times. Each time they tried to repaint those markers, those scars, they never went away. They reappeared again. So that is like, we believe this is the symbol when Our Lady of Czestochowa is uniting with people. And through the 14th century, before 14th century, through the times when communism was still there, we were suffering, and we just deeply believe that she is the one who, by those scars, she is uniting with people through the fighting for the faith, for the independence. And right now, this is the heart of our faith in Poland. As a matter of fact, this month in August, we have a feast of Our Lady of Czestochowa, where people from whole Poland are walking in pilgrims as pilgrims for 28th of August, and they celebrate and honor her with a huge mass. There is thousands of people that day.
Oh my goodness.
And we also going to have that on our church, 24th of August, when all the organization, Polish school, everybody comes together and we honor her in the mass, and then have a dinner and enjoy the time together.
And the dinners are always amazing. Always.
I can only imagine.
Thank you.
Yeah. And both communities share a real love for Our Lady of Vang, in your case, Father Hoang. What do you think about how Our Lady seems to have really endeared herself to these communities? What can we say?
Well, I would say she just does, because there is such a child who is forgotten under the mantle of Mary. She is not only the mother of Jesus, but because we now have a share in his divine life, therefore we are sons and daughters, not only of our Heavenly Father, but therefore of Mary. So we are members of the body of Christ, and we're always reminded Jesus is the head and we are the body, and you cannot have one without the other. So Mary has to therefore be our mother. And so what a beautiful thing. And she's a mother not just in a generic sense, but in a particular sense with particular communities, including Our Lady of Guadalupe, the patroness of our diocese.
Right. And it's just so amazing. But a lot of times outside of a particular national church, people might not know about Our Lady of Czestochowa. They might not know about Our Lady of Vang. Tell us a little bit about Our Lady of Vang, because there's quite a devotion to her in your community.
Yes, I think for the Vietnamese people, we have such a deep devotion to Our Lady, because it also happened at the persecution time, right? People ran up for their faith, and they were in the jungle, and they prayed the rosary, and Our Vang appeared to them, and of course when they lived in the jungle, they were sick, no food, and she came and she consoled them, and also asked them to drink the leaf, because La Vang has two meaning. La Vang means crying out, but it's also related to a certain leaf that the people they use that kind of leaf for the medicine to heal them.
Oh, so like a good mother, she's
a good
so
mother, she's controlling them,
giving them their medicine.
The medicine too, yeah.
That's a good mom.
Love it.
Yeah.
One of the challenges that communities like Our Lady of Czestochowa or Vietnamese Martyrs Parish sometimes face is that you have that first generation comes in, they're the immigrants, they're from Vietnam, they're from Poland, and then they have children. Of course, they speak their language at home, but then the kids go off to school, right?
Right.
They're speaking English all day. And then they marry someone who's maybe not Polish or not Vietnamese, and then by the third generation. How do you keep it together? How are you doing that? You talked about your school a little bit. Tell us about the school that you have.
Yes, because for example, on Sunday we have catechesis, of course, and also we call the culture language, which is we teach them Vietnamese, at our school, and of course it's only an hour, but at least this is how we try to maintain, the culture, and at least because some of them they also the parents try to encourage them to speak Vietnamese at home, and some of them they are very they speak so well, even without the accent too.
Wow.
Really?
When they talk to the grandparents, right? So because the grandparents don't speak English,
right.
So that's how they communicate, and we trying to become an instrument so that they can communicate and more, and also having because they are Vietnamese, and of course we have a place for them or to gather them.
So they've got fellowship. The kids are coming to church and they're learning that church is a fun place to be.
Yes,
right? You come here to worship, but you also come to learn
and meet friends, and we also have we have many youth young groups activities for them too. So yeah, some of them I always been encouraged. They, for example, when you go to school, right, your parents have to kind of wake you up, but when they go to church, the parents don't have to wake them up.
Right.
They want
to go to church. Yeah,
love it.
There. Yes.
Wow.
I love that.
So that I was amazed by many that examples.
That's fantastic. I love to hear.
Jola, you mentioned something that was amazing to me before we began recording, and that was about a store. So I have a husband who's an immigrant, and at holiday time, he wants to be able to buy the ingredients to make the traditional Venezuelan food. You can't get those at Fry's, right? So at the holidays. So you talked about a Polish store that's owned by parishioners. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we have one at Surprise, A to Z Polish market, and they provide with all the goodies what you can imagine, and is directly imported from Poland. And all traditional foods when it comes to the Easter, Christmas time, you can buy there everything. And they have a deli, which they also sell their products made on the spot there, like the pierogies, gołąbki, and several of sausages, bacon, and deli meats. So it's open, I think, whole week.
A taste of home.
Yes, Sunday.
Parishioner.
Yes, a taste of home, and you just a little bit of Poland, like we say. It's like when you go there, you really forget because it's music. Everything is just Polish. You just feel there, and honestly, there is several American people who comes there, but you see Polish people all around that store.
Where is that located?
Price, Arizona.
Okay.
Right.
Supporters of the parish, and
Yes.
what I love to see is like when I need to visit your parish. Haven't been there. I've visited yours. It's like a little island in North Phoenix. This is like a little piece of your homeland.
Right.
You feel the same thing at these stores. Talk to us. You said I think something like 140 children.
Yes, we have 140 children at school, which comes like from 9 to 1 o'clock every Saturday. And everything is purely in Polish, what they have to do.
Because when I go to your website, I have to tell you, when I was trying to arrange all this, your whole website is in Vietnamese and your whole website's in Poland. I am out of, I know none of.
I'm not, I thought so. We have that in English. I don't know then. It is true. Maybe
I think you can hit a button that switches to English. And
I'm not sure.
Yours as well, but it was just the shock of seeing it. It's like, wow, this is your community. You're part of our community. Yeah. Bishop, what has been your experience over the years dealing with national parishes like this?
Only positive, just great, just wonderful. I have to say that I learned an awful lot in San Diego, where we had multicultural parishes, and the most recent bishop, Michael Pham, is ordained during my time. No, I beg your pardon. Now I was his co-consecrator as auxiliary bishop in San Diego, and then the very first bishop that Pope Leo had made in I think in the world was Michael Pham, first installed bishop of San Diego, and so he was involved in intercultural affairs, which I found very fascinating. That was like a new way of thinking about it, because we can have our own multicultural, different cultures represented, but that intercultural thing is something that I found really fascinating. I'm very thrilled. It just shows us that there's an absolute beauty and dynamism about being Catholic.
So true.
Which means universal.
It's a big family, and we've got a lot of different cousins and brothers and sisters, and it's been just beautiful to have you with us, and we're just so grateful. And we encourage people to come and visit, find out when Mass is, and come and take part. You've got a festival. Both of you have festivals, right?
Yes, we have it.
Our festival.
Yes, Polish festival. We have next year, April 18 and 19. Okay. Which warmly invite everyone. Yes.
Put it on your calendar.
Yeah, I will. And it's
the New Year festival, and we also have the Vietnamese Martyrs feast day coming up in November. and Bishop Michael Pham will be here too.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Oh,
this coming
fantastic.
weekend.
Oh,
Yeah,
wonderful.
so he and Bishop Armstead
Good.
will be at our parish
Wonderful.
to celebrate Vietnamese Martyrs.
Well, it has been a delight to have you both here, and we hope you've enjoyed our program today. Please remember to hit the like button and to share us on social media. And for all of us here at the Diocese of Phoenix, have a blessed day.